Good evening and welcome. Welcome to my live stream, Fight CPS and Stop Taking Our Children. I'm your host, Bob Pace, and I'm on again tonight. I've been doing this now for 18 months, twice a day, 7 days a week. That's 14 live streams a week. I started October 2023. And I'm on at 10 o'clock in the morning, typically Monday through Friday. Then on the weekends, I'm on at 8 o'clock in the morning. Those are all Pacific Standard Times. Then in the evenings, I'm on at 7 o'clock at night, all 7 days a week. Tonight, I was supposed to be on at 8 o'clock. I had a debriefing, excuse me, a Zoom debriefing on the 50 years of the Long Beach Grand Prix. That was a race that just happened in Long Beach, IndyCar race just last week. And then I, with the committee of 300, and I volunteered my time. I've been doing it for 50 years. Gee, got my sneezels here. Sneezes. But it's a warm welcome. And I'm glad you found this live stream, because you're dealing with an agency that has gone rogue in a lot of different counties in the United States and worldwide. Yes, I mentioned worldwide because this is a live stream that's broadcasting where there's internet. So I have 22 countries along with 50 states and the District of Columbia. They've all responded. And I'm glad that you found this, because you need help. CPS is not a laughing matter. CPS is a very difficult matter. And when they're corrupt, it is even worse. Let me see if I got something here I can take care of this. Huh. Oh, here we go. I had a Kleenex tucked away. There we go. I guess I got too much sun from the sun today down at the beach. God, I'm so beat red now. See, certain times I'm not, and this times I don't know if it's the lighting or what, but anyway, I know Betty Jo is worried about me about this because she's mentioned to me on here. She's a really fine grandmother and mother from Montana. Anyway, this particular live stream is here to help you with your CPS case. Now, set up by the law offices of Vincent W. Davis. He's the one that started this live stream. In fact, he had a live stream this morning, usually at 6:30 in the morning, answering questions, but he had to postpone it, so he's going to do it tonight at my show time at 7. But I think he says he's going to start at 8:30. So I guess 7 to, I could have done my show at 7, but I had that Zoom meeting. So anyway, I waited to 9:30. So if some of you that are finding out just now, I'm sorry that wasn't on at 7 o'clock early this morning. But if you check the notification button, that'll tell you when I'm on, then you'll never have a problem about, seeing me when I'm on. Also, please check the follow button and try to write some reviews. Now, there's emojis you can pick, smiley faces, thumbs up, or hearts. You can send me stars too. And take notes and listen, because there's lots of valuable information that'll help you with your case. Also, I have lots of people that are part of the family that come here all the time, and they too need help with CPS cases. CPS is something you can't trust. They're an agency that has gone rogue. What I mean by that is that they've gone bad. They take away our children even if they're not in danger. Anyway, I'm here to share what's happened in my case and maybe help you out with your case. And so hopefully some things that I can tell you, some articles I read. I have also come up with 5 rules that if I had followed, I probably would have had a bad as a case. Now, in here, we have several other things you can do in here. One of the things is right now you can go ahead and text me messages. To text me a message, all you'd have to do is make a comment or a question and should pertain to CPS. Now, I call CPS the Child Protection Systems. It's entities, government entities in every county and every state that's supposed to protect our children from neglect and abuse. Also supposed to do family reunification, and that's something they seem to forget. Families are very important. In fact, the best families, the parents, the biological parents, are the best ones for raising children. And it is a very difficult case that you can get yourself locked into. It'll take a minimum of 3 years to deal with CPS. That seems to be the average. Reason being is one of those years you got to spend 52 weeks taking a domestic violence class every week for a year. So that's 1 year you're going to be nailed on. And if you have a criminal charge, then there's another year they tack on. So they'll drag it on and drag it on because why? They get $1 trillion a year that CPS makes. It's a money-making thing. If a child's in custody, they're getting $20,000 per child per month. That's a lot of money to raise a child. I don't think it costs that much. But please text a comment or a question so I can help you. And these countries that have been in here, they're in Indonesia, Bangladesh, India. They're in the Middle East, there's Saudi Arabia and Libya. Then we go over to Africa. They're Liberia, Sudan, Republic of Congo, Rwanda, Mozambique, and then 2 provinces in South Africa. Then up to Europe, it's England, Scotland, and Wales, and Denmark and Sweden. Then across the pond, it's 4 provinces in Canada and all 50 states in the USA, along with the District of Columbia. Then south of the border is Mexico, and then down in South America, north of Brazil on the East Coast, Grenada. Then we go across the South Pacific, and we go to New Zealand, and then to the land down under, Australia, and 2 states in Australia. So that's approximately 1,500 people from either the U.S. or from the countries that either text or spoken on here. And people have called me, a mom from England, country code 44 called, and then a lady, a mother from South Africa, country code 27 called. So they have talked on here, and this is what this live stream is all about, is to help you so that you don't make the same mistakes as your predecessor, and so you understand. And CPS is a lot about just studying, about learning. Because no one's prepared for it. No one's even heard of them. I never heard of them. I really do not know the power that they have. Now, they're supposed to protect our children from, Congress said they're supposed to protect our children from neglect and abuse. And it was in 1962 when they formalized CPS. But protect our children has been going on since the 1600s with colonial days. And from 1600 to 1875 is the first chapter of CPS. In 1875 is when the American Indians were put on reservations. and the children were always taken. They're put in Indian schools, a haircut. They no longer could wear the clothing of their ancestors, can no longer speak the language. It was terrible. They were taught in the private schools to forget about their native land, their native tongue. And they were abused. These children were always abused. It wasn't until 1978, that the Indian Child Welfare Act was created. And that's where CPS must determine if the children are Indian and if they're a part of one of 548 federal tribes. That's how many tribes in the USA are recognized by the federal government. So the CPS has to make the determination. What they do basically is you have to register with the tribe. Now, if you've not registered the tribe, you still have the opportunity to register the tribe. And if you are a Native American Indian children and the parents, your kids can be placed on the reservation with another Indian family, and then they do family reunification. They get your family back. So that's why that was created, the ICWA, the Indian Child Welfare Act. Now, another way to participate in this live stream is to be a guest. To be a guest on the show, all you have to do is email my show producer. Her name is Grace, and her email is grace@vincentwdavis.com. And you just pick the date and the time. I want to be Bob's Saturday morning show. I want to be Bob's Friday night show. I want to be Bob's Wednesday morning show. So you pick that. She's going to contact you and give you the email link for StreamYard. That's the application I'm on. I'm being broadcast on the YouTube video, but I'm using the StreamYard application. And so it's a real simple process there. I know most of you are frustrated because you're scared, you don't know what you run into, and you suddenly have this weird agency. They are really strange. There's a lot of bad foster care people out there. It's a shame that there can't be legitimate relationships and using their children go to the hospital and do whatever. But finding CPS is like open heart surgery. You're going to have to get somebody that's technical about it. You can't really pro se it yourself. That means to fight it on your behalf. They'll eat you up alive in court. You see, the area of expertise is you have to be trained in juvenile law, family law, and dependency law. Those are the three laws that go together. Now, you also need to get that attorney because you're going to be fighting them. They're really corrupt. And that's the hardest thing, too, is coming up with the money for the attorney. Because retainers can be all over the place. 5,000, 10,000, 15,000, 25,000 retainers. And that's just upfront money that they collect ahead of time so they can defend your case and not be asking you constantly for help paying the bill. Like in LA County, Mr. Davis will do a retainer of 5,000. His hourly rate is 500. But he's an excellent attorney. He's been fighting CPS for 39 years. He has gotten children back from CPS. He's really been good about that. So anyway, I'm glad you're here, and I really want to help you here. Now, I know it's late at night, and it looks like we don't have very many people on. because I know the East Coast is 12:30. That's where KK Richardson, Akima, my people in North Carolina, South Carolina, Pennsylvania, Maryland. I got a lot of you people there. But this show is being recorded, and so it can be played back, and so you can hear it too at a later time. That might be more conducive. Now, when you contact Grace, she'll send you that link, and she'll also instruct you of what you can say or not say or do on the live stream. Now, I know it's been a long day, and most of you are pretty tired, pretty exhausted. But that's how to be a guest. Now, there's another number on my screen. It says 888-888-6582. That's the law office of Vincent W. Davis. And you can call in there, speak to reception. Make sure you tell them that Bob Pace sent you. If you want to talk to Vincent Davis, you can set it up there. You can retain him right off the bat. He will talk to you. Right now, he has, some programs that will help you. He has some programs that will help you talking to him. Now, I have something here called the Stand Store. That's the internet site where you can get guidebooks and package deals for attorney to defend you. Remember, though, you got to put the HTTPS colon double // and then you put in the stand.store / attorney Vincent WD, VWD. Now, today has been a long day for me. So I'm really exhausted today. This is one of my hardest days, and to do this show late at night is hard. It's hard every time you do the show because you want to do something different. You want to make it more entertaining. You want to help out people. My goal is to help you all. I'm a loving father and a husband with 42 years experience. I help raise 6 children. Right now, 4 of the children don't live with us, just the 2 boys. And one of our child was stolen from us by the social worker who wanted to cause retaliation. Apparently, what happened is that she wanted to find out a status, and so when she called the number, she thought she was speaking the right person, but no. She was speaking the right person, but anyway, they were prepared for her, I guess, because they did not have any sidewalk they're left open, and the narrow places next to each other were very, very, very narrow. Now, besides, I have the Stand Store up there, which is a list of guidebooks. Like one of the latest ones we have out there is the grandparent steps for getting custody of your grandkids. Grandparents are important, just like a mom and dad and stepsisters and stepdads and so forth. They're all part of kinship, and kinship's very, very important there. Now, let me tell you about that grandparents guide here. Let me pull that up. To get the grandparents guide, you go to that Stan.store, Attorney Vincent Davis. It's only $9.99, but I have a discount code. Write it down. It's my last name, all capital letters, PACE, and then the number 50. And you'll get that guide for half off. So that guide's really worth its gold. It's really good, and a lot of parents have tried it. It does work. Now, another way you can talk to Vincent Davis, if you want to have a lengthy conversation, 30 minutes, you do it for $60 as a favor to me with my people that help out there. All you have to do is go to the website, pay your $60, and schedule a time to see him, and try and pick as early a time as you can. Now, the Zoom meeting is 30 minutes. It's $60. You just go to that website, candidly.com/APPTSVWD/Bob Pace. So you go there, use your credit card, and you can book a 30-minute Zoom private consultation with Attorney Davis. It's $60, but he'll make a meeting for that. So that's 30 minutes for $60. Then I have another website. That's the general website for the company. It's https://vincentwdavis.com. And you go to that website and you find everything you can about that. So that's a lot of information here. And so far, we still don't have anybody in my room. At least I know that this time of night is a tough time because a lot of people are not up at 9:30. I know on the West Coast they are, but I've lost my East Coast people, my regulars. I have about 20 to 30 people that come into my room. So now I'm going to put up my phone number. That means you can call in. You get the phone number there. Here it is. To call in to my live stream, you would just call in right now at 626-698-0990. That number is up. That number is up. Now my number is up. That's 626-698-0990. That means you can call me directly and I can answer your question. Now, by calling me or being a guest on my show, I take up 9 of you, you qualify for a free 15-minute private Zoom meeting with Mr. Davis. And did you get the rice, John? And the salad? Oh, Robert, I'm sorry. I didn't know you were home. Okay, my other son came home. I have a family here that I broadcast out of my home here. I'm in Surf City, USA, on the west coast of California, 3 blocks from the beach. And I thought my young son, but he went to bed. He's going to college. My older son got home from work, so he has some food. That's good. So please call into the number 626-698-0990. I'd love to hear from you. All right, looks like we have a person in the room, which is great. It's from the CPS defense attorney here. And that is really, really, really good. I'm going to leave my number up there. So I got everything else all squared away here. Okay. And so now it's about 25 minutes into the live stream. We have an hour, so we have about 34 more minutes to be exact. And I have my 5 rules that I come up with. I developed them over the period of time, and something I wish I had followed because my situation was terrible. My situation was terrible. It was really, 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 really hard. But I'm not here to talk about my case. I'm here to talk about your case and how they help you. How they help you get your children back. How they hang on to them and not let them go. Now that story there, that tells you everything you can do here. So you need to read through that. That's really good. I really like that. So I know it's kind of late in here and stuff, and so we can talk about any topic you like to talk to. Now, I was looking up some news about CPS. Now, there was a new change in child welfare for families. That was brought on by Congress and during Joe Biden's term. That what they did is that they include more support for kinship care, aging out youth, and efforts to prevent the separation of families due to poverty. Poverty can no longer be used as negligence. It's wrong in the first place. Just because a home burned down to the ground doesn't mean they're in poverty. Um, Good evening, son. Okay. So we're starting the show late tonight for two reasons. One, I had a debriefing with the Long Beach Grand Prix at 7 o'clock and went to about 8:30. And secondly, Vincent Davis didn't have time to do his morning show, so he did it at my show time tonight. I think he's going to start at 8:30, and so that's why I started at 9:30. So I'll go to 10:30 tonight. We're a half an hour through this, so it'll be a half an hour from now. Right now it's 10 o'clock at night. I know it's late here on the West Coast and definitely on the East Coast because it's 1 o'clock in the morning on the East Coast. Now, this bill that was passed in 2025, the Virginia General Assembly session was marked by significant attention to the issues affecting the state's most vulnerable children, particularly those involved in the child welfare system. While several important pieces of legislation made progress, there was also setbacks that underscore the need for continued advocacy and action to ensure a better future for foster youth, children at risk, or families in need of support. Now, several key bills related to child welfare were successfully passed and signed into law during the 2025 session. These measures will go into effect July 1st or January 2026 first. This measure strengthens the process by which petitions for relief of child custody are handled, ensuring the investigations by local departments of social services are thorough. Now, the State Board of Several Services Regulations advocate for use of foster care benefits. In its address, the applications process for foster care benefits, which will improve the efficiency and accessibility of the system for families and children in need. Foster care federal benefits, written notice by certified mail notice of eligibility. This law ensures that foster children and their families are properly informed about the eligibility for federal benefits. There's a lot of bills that didn't pass. Okay, we got two people. Yay. We got more people coming in here. That's good. Hopefully the word will get around. I know it's only Tuesday night. It's a weeknight, and I like to be on at 7 and not at 9:30 at night. Now, fighting CPS is like open heart surgery. You need to get a professional attorney trained in how to fight CPS. They need to be educated in juvenile law, family law, and dependency law. Those are the three areas that they're going to be working with you in court. Now, I can talk about a lot of subjects, so if you guys wanted me to talk about something else, please tell me. I'm trying to make it interesting, and instead of talking about my rules all the time or about my case or some of the same old things, I'm now trying to incorporate local CPS news. There's a lot going on about CPS. Okay, going back to this article, what we got here. The Children's Ombudsman powers and duties. This bill, which aim to expand the powers and duties of the Children's Ombudsman, was left in the Appropriation Committee on February 4th, 2024. Now, there's another thing, the Children's Service Act, state pool of funds. This bill would have had revised the Children's Service Act to better allocate funds for children in need. Failure to report of this Health and Bereavement Services Committee on January 28th, 2024. Now, another one here says the CPS to establish, maintain supplies of new luggage to transport children's belongings. This bill would have been providing new luggage for children in foster care to carry their belongings. Was tabled in the House Appropriation. Boy, it seems like all these are here. Here's another one. Department of Social Services licensed child placement agencies, fosters and adopted provider training, reciprocation among local departments of social services and licensed child practicing child placing agencies regulations. This bill is aimed to improve the training and establish I forgot. Okay. This bill is aimed to improve training and establish reciprocity arguments between child placing and agencies, but failed after being tabled in 2024. Now, the budget outcomes: child welfare workforce retention is 500,000. Kinship service expansion is 425,750. And federal benefits for foster youth be language only. Now, a continued effort. While the 2024 season brought some wins for children and families involved in Virginia, either child. Boy, it is a hard time at night to do this. Now they've also allocated $425,750 for kinship service expansion. I'm glad to hear that. And federal benefits for foster care will only be in the language only. I don't think it's the language of the children there. Hello, Candace Berner. Welcome. Welcome to my live stream. It's late tonight, and I'm glad you found me. And you say your court-appointed attorney has not contacted my adult sons who said they testified on behalf of our family. And secondly, he says, you're doing a good job thing here. I believe it. Thank you. Well, you're welcome, Candace. I want to help you. I know the feeling. It's tired too. Yeah, it's the end of the day. My day starts at 4 o'clock in the morning at the Dawn Patrol, where I go to the ocean. So it goes all day. I think I spent from 8 to 10 on the phone call talking to potential new clients. Then from 10 to 11 was my live stream. Then 11 to 2 o'clock, I was doing more calls for Vincent Davis. Hello, Pebbles, Mullane. I was misrepresented in juvenile court. I'm sorry you were. And that's the hard thing, too, when you're in juvenile court, because you probably were using a court-appointed attorney or public defender, and you got to stay away from those people. They're no good. I know that may be the only legal advice you can get or help, but they're going to ruin your case. They are heavily loaded with 30 or more clients. CPS likes to keep them that way so they can't fight for your case, and they work for CPS. So there really is no sensibility in the way that thing is put together. Now, Candace Byrne, where are you from? All I need to know is your city or county and your state. And if you're from another country, your country. Same thing goes for you, Pebbles, Mullane. I'd like to know you too. Now, I have 5 rules. I'll go through them real quick. Rule 1, you get yourself an attorney who's experienced in juvenile law, family law, dependency law. 2, you have to document everything. You need to keep track of all your documents, make copies and so forth. 3 is you don't talk to social workers, don't let them in your home, and don't let them take your children. Also, you're going to be worried about medical trafficking. They will try to take your child when you go in the hospital, either to bring your kids that need help or you're pregnant and you need to go in to deliver the baby. Don't talk to them. You don't have to talk to them. You need your attorney present. Your attorney will decide what you can say and not say and how the case should go. You need to put it in with the attorney is what you have to do. So anyway, I'm glad you're here, Pebble. I'm glad you're here, Candace. I would like to help you with your CPS case. All you have to do is ask away. Now you can call in. All I ask you is your first name, your city or county, and your state. And if you're from another country, your country. And ask away. I'm here to help you tonight. This is free. It's not cost you a dime here. Now, um, you have to be careful out there because CPS is corrupt. They retaliated against me and had our daughter, who had 12 years at that time. Um, these two people, my wife's mother and father, were up there before the judge because they wanted to return the child to a family member. So the questions were asked and they didn't qualify. So they're up again. They're up again. So not to fret. We'll get to everybody. We'll get to everybody. Can you tell me more, Pebbles, how you're misrepresented and where your case is right now? Same thing with you, Candace Bruner. If you tell me where your case is at, it'd be much appreciated. Okay. This retaliation by the social worker against our family was terrible. My wife's sister and husband were trying to adopt our 12-year-old daughter. And we had hired Vincent Davis after a year of being without attorney. And I'm glad I did. I had to sell my home, which was a hard thing to do because my home had a lot of value and I would get nowhere near the value of my motorhome. Share your referral link. What do you mean referral link? As I said, that the rules were recorded on previous live stream and they'll be for your enjoyment up there. Rule number one, again, is have a policeman. You need a policeman that's trained in CPR and JFL and so forth. So I have a question mark. Share your referral link. Oh, if any of you guys got referral links you want to put in there, you can share them. It goes to all the rooms. It goes to everybody. So that's the StreamYard message. The StreamYard message is doing that. Let me go ahead and close that. No, okay. So you got to know these rules, because if I had these rules, I would never lost my children. And that first rule of attorney, that is the key to success. Now the clock is slowly disappearing. We're about 52 minutes into the show, so we have about 7 minutes left of this live stream, this late night live stream. And I am talking about my rules and how important it is to get that attorney. I also was telling you about how my daughter was retaliated by the social worker. The social worker didn't even have a high school education. The social worker was upset because our attorney, Vincent Davis, had questioned her and proved that she was lying. She was supposed to say how great these parents were, and she did just the opposite. So you got to be careful out there. Your whole case can be thrown away if you don't be careful about it. Now, if you could tell me more, Pebble, how you're misrepresented, I can try to help you. Also, Candace, what happened with your case? I know that. So we have Candace and we have Pebbles here in the room. And we have really slow people tonight because it is late. I know it is late there and so forth. And I'm going to finish talking about my rules. And that rule number 1 is you need to get that attorney. You need an attorney to defend yourself. Rule 2 is you need to do documentation. And your documentation has got to be organized so you can find something. Now, as you go to your cases and you go through your paperwork with your documentation, put it all in a notebook with a 3-ring binder. You want to organize it. You want to have your subject tabs out. You can fill out what they're supposed to be, each subject tab is. Now, another important document is one you create. It's called a time log incident form. It's where you enter every incident that you know from day one. And you start off with 3 lines for each incident. Your first line is going to be a now, this timeline, you devote 3 lines. The first line is you put where the incident was, or if you were on the phone when the incident happened. Then you put the date, the time, and the people involved. Your next line is a summary of the incident. And then your third line is the results of the incident. So that's how you do each 3 lines per incident. So you have 10 incidents, it's going to be 30 lines. So it starts getting pretty extensive when it grows up there. Now, no one really has any questions here. And we got about 2 minutes left before my live stream. I'll have to end it there. Your third line of your incident timeline is you're going to be your results. Your second line is a summary of what the incident was about. Always be a 1 sentence. And your third one is the results, a 1 sentence of what happened there. And you should be able to put all your information in there. Don't forget to have court dates and times and jurisdiction involved there. Today would be a really tough day for me. I just, So then you skip it. Your third line is the results of the incident. Then you skip it and do your next incident, That way you'll have tons of incidents. You document it all. You know, you want those subject tabs to organize your paperwork, all your court papers. You need to hole punch them. All the of all the class certificates, you want to report that. So you create all those documents, and then you go on to rule number 3. Rule number 3 is you do not talk to social workers or let them in your house. And same thing goes for police. They have to have a warrant to come into your house. Your house is your castle, your drawbridge up. Rule number 4 is to search the internet correctly. Make sure you put the city followed by the state, followed by CPS. And you want to be exactly about something CPS, follow the CPS by CPS on that one there. And then rule number 5 or 4, I should say, is how to search on the internet. It's your city, state, and then the letters CPS, and you have lots of articles. You want to be specific, put the letters, then CPS, and then put which one specific about calling in. And Rule 5 is where you make a copy of all your documents, license, marriage certificate, put it in an envelope, and keep it with your notebook. So those are the 5 rules, pretty simply said there. But I want to thank you all for coming in tonight and trying your best. I know it's late tonight. Tomorrow morning, I'll be on at 10 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. That's 10 o'clock. That'll be Wednesday, April 23rd. So with that being said, I want to wish you all a safe and a good night. God bless you all. And this is Bob Pace signing off.